come and educate people about it. We might play a bit, but I will pass the message across. So, some days ago, I received a message in the DM, and it says, I'll read it to you because I'm not quoting anybody. I'll read exactly the way it was sent to me. It says, "Good evening, coach. My wife told me she was a virgin. To my greatest surprise, she didn't bleed on our wedding night. I feel betrayed, and I can't stand the sight of her." Before you start getting angry, calm down. Calm down. Don't even be in a hurry to judge. Don't be too quick to judge because there are different sides to this. So today we're going to be talking about bleeding after first intercourse. I don't think I really blame this man. Yeah, come for me. I don't think I really blame this man. I blame the society. I blame our country. I blame culture. I blame people that told us that if you don't bleed on your first sexual experience, you were not a virgin. I blame people that told us that you must bleed when you have sex for the first time. Those are the people I blame. Yes, I can blame the guy a bit for not, because we are evolving. Things are happening. More information, more scientific research has happened, and we've been told new information. So I blame him for staying in the past and marrying a futuristic woman, or marrying a woman. So first, let me educate you on how the vagina works, right? The vagina has a thin tissue that stretches across part of the opening. This is called a hymen. The hymen can either be thick or thin. Now, the fact that the definition says that it's a thin tissue does not mean that some people don't have a thick tissue. So it's basically a curtain. Now, when there's a curtain in your house, you either walk through the curtain, part the curtain, or pull the curtain down, right? You can either walk through the curtain, part the curtain, or pull the curtain down. For those that are very imaginative, I'm sure you're beginning to imagine a penis going into a vagina and there's a curtain. Yes, the hymen can either part, the penis can either shift it to one side and pass, or hits through it and tears it open, or pushes through it, right? In these three ways by which the penis penetrates the vagina during first intercourse, there may or may not be bleeding, depending on the amount of force applied. There may or may not be bleeding. Now, because of the way the hymen was manufactured by our creator, right? Some people's hymen can be ruptured during physical activities. This hymen can be ruptured during physical activity. So if you're very athletic, if you're very physical, right? If you're someone that does a lot of pelvic floor exercises, a lot of stretches and stuff, the hymen can actually shift or rupture. And if you probably bled at that time, you would think it was your menstrual flow coming out. You may think you were spotting before your menstrual flow or spotting after. You wouldn't even know that it was a hymen that took a bow. So sometimes when a person has vaginal sex for the first time, their hymen gets stretched open, which may cause some bleeding. This bleeding we're even talking about because of society. In those days, when you have sex for the first time in your marriage as a virgin, the elders and the mature women, the umada and all that, they will now gather at the outside of your husband's house, waiting for you people to finish. Then they will now bring out, your husband will now bring with his full chest, feeling like a man. He will now bring out the white cloth, now open it. They will now start shouting, "Hey!" Your mother will now be, placed on high chair, that she trained the girl very well, that the girl was a virgin till marriage. And then the reverse is the case. If they open that white cloth and there's no stain on it, now the girl will be ostracized. Sometimes she will be beaten and chased out of the village. That marriage is cancelled, right? Now the sin of the girl will be meted on her mother. There are a lot of things that tradition does that scientifically doesn't make sense, right? So you see, the fact that the girl or the woman did not bleed does not necessarily say that she didn't come to you as a virgin. You see, I use the word necessarily say because some people will now take the fact that not everybody bleeds, and now say they are virgins. So when you have sex for the first time, because we have sensitized the men now, you now say because you did not bleed. If you could not bleed, say, no, she was a virgin, she did not bleed. See, no, there's no virginometer. There's no place we are marking syllabus for virgin or not virgin. What God demands from us is sexual purity and not virginity. Yes, virginity shows that you were sexually pure. It's part of the ways we can know that you were sexually pure. But not all virgins are sexually pure. Some vaginal virgins. I chose my word carefully because there are some vaginal virgins that are not anal virgins. They have sex anally. they have outer course. They do everything but penetrate, right? But the question is, again, is who is holding the scorecard? Because this young man now that's reporting his wife, hello, sir, are you also a virgin? Because when the Bible was saying that we should be sexually pure, he wasn't referring to the woman. He did not say the woman should be sexually pure. He did not say the woman should be a virgin. God demands sexual purity from both man and woman. From both man and woman, right? So if for some reason you had sex with your wife, let's even imagine that she knew she was not a virgin, and then she told you she was a virgin, and you had sex with her and she didn't bleed, because the bleeding part now, we have just made it null and void. Whether she bled or she did not bleed does not state whether she's a virgin or not. Yes, I know that is a breach in trust and all that, but based on this knowledge of the fact that not all virgins bleed, should let you know that, okay, probably my wife was actually a virgin, but she just did not bleed, right? Okay, but if she was not a virgin and she lied to you that she was a virgin, it's a conversation you will need to sit with her and have with her. You know, people come across from different angles saying, is he a vampire? Why is he looking for blood? Why is he looking for virgin blood? Blah, 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 blah. I don't think he's looking for virgin blood. He just did not know that not all virgins bleed. So, sir, before you start thinking that your wife lied to you or start feeling betrayed, get knowledge. Knowledge is everywhere. And since you have not been able to get knowledge, I hope this video answers it for you. Not all virgins bleed. And the fact that the woman did not bleed does not state her being a virgin or not. And please, how do we even know if the man was a virgin in the first place? But I don't want to go into all that details. I just wanted to use this question to trash out the issue of bleeding and not bleeding. Quick tip for you. Don't believe all you see in the movies. See you in the next video. About something really important and informative, and as always, impactful. Today we're talking about sexual frigidity. Yeah, it's a big word, but not really a big word. Simply put, sexual frigidity just talks about the fear of sex. I'll take you to the dictionary meaning of frigidity, and then we'll set the ball rolling, and then we'll take it off from there. So sexual frigidity is described as a lack of sexual desire or difficulty in becoming sexually aroused in women. It's an outdated or even often disregarded term. So instead of frigidity, terms like female sexual dysfunction, hypoactive sexual desire disorder, HSDD, hypoactive sexual desire disorder, or sexual arousal disorder are used. So these are words or terms used in place of frigidity. But in those days, it was known as frigidity. I think I like the sound of frigidity. All these plenty of abbreviations increases the fear for it. We are going to be understanding the female sexual or dysfunction, and then we'll talk about the causes, because nobody was born with it. We'll talk about the causes, and then we'll talk about how we can heal from it. Let's go. So, one of the causes of sexual frigidity is something called hormonal dysfunction. Terrible hormonal dysfunction, which can be as a result of pregnancy. It can be as a result of hormonal imbalancing. It can be as a result of, so basically anything that alters or affects the hormonal balance in the female body. Another cause of frigidity is past abuse. Past abuse. So if the woman was abused by whoever or whatever, she can develop a fear for sex, right? Another cause of sexual frigidity is pain. Now, this pain can be either physical pain or psychological pain. Now, causes of physical pain is dryness. Another cause of physical pain is vaginismus, that is the shutting of the vagina, just basically the shutting of the vagina instead of the opening of the vagina. So that's basically vaginismus. It could also be as a result of tough hymen. So under the psychological causes of pain, we call it rape or abuse, feeling of cheats. So if you have a spouse that cheated, you emotionally shut down. And if for any reason you are forced or obligated to have intercourse with that spouse, your mind is not in it, and as a result, your body reacts to it, and that could cause pain during sex. Now we know the causes of sexual frigidity. How about to talk about how to resolve this frigidity? The major way to resolve sexual frigidity is talk to the specialist. Because as much as we've listed some physical and psychological reasons for sexual frigidity, right, you need to talk to someone who is informed and educated enough in that line to be able to help you. Someone who would not judge you. someone who will not see you as broken, someone who would not see you as the problem. That's one of the reasons this page was established, to give people a safe space to talk about the sexual desires, the sexual needs, the sexual dysfunctions and all that. You meet people, women basically, who come up, who have or are experiencing things like this, but because they can't speak up, because they don't know who to talk to, they cower in fear and shame. And every time, some of these women end up getting married and they can't have intercourse with their spouse. Now, you are not broken. You are not damaged. You are not the problem, but you are the one experiencing this problem. The best solution for you is to get help from the right source. It's not going to talk to your mother or going to talk to your friend that's probably having the time of her life and she's wondering, what's doing you? What's that? You need somebody who is trained to deal with these issues. Sexual frigidity is a thing and it has to be dealt with. It has to be dealt with. So if you know that I have spoken your language, if you know that I have hit the nail on the head of what is bothering you in your bed, send a DM today and let's talk about it.